Update. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my husband to go to his daughter's fencing competition? I'm 29 female and married to my husband 32 male. He has a daughter from a previous relationship 12 female who takes part in competitive fencing. I have a good relationship with her and we're friendly. She lives with her mom but I see her whenever she stays with us and I've hung out with her plenty. She has a competition on Thursday and my husband is flying down to see her tomorrow to spend a few days with her before the competition and to see the competition. Normally I wouldn't have an issue with this, but I'm 39 weeks pregnant with our first child. I could go at any moment, and I have no family at all. I've asked him not to go and suggested we send her a gift down instead. He is insisting he has to go, and that I'll be fine. He has even suggested that my best friend come stay with me while he is gone just to be safe. I normally wouldn't mind him going for this, and would even encourage it, but I'm scared. I don't want him with me right now. He feels she will be too upset if he misses it, but he has to work hard to keep his relationship with her, given the fact he's separated from her mother and having a kid with me. I feel awful for even asking him not to go, and incredibly selfish as yes, his daughter is important and I never want to get in the way of their relationship, but I'm just terrified of going into labor when he's not there. He has made it clear that he is going no matter what. It is implying I am being unreasonable to ask him to do otherwise. I don't know. Perhaps I am being selfish. Edit. Part of the reason I'm so scared is that I'm unlikely to last a week. Have been having a hard time with a pregnancy, and I'm classed as high risk due to being diabetic. He is also flying out tomorrow and returning Friday evening. Also, yes, for those wondering, I'm set to be induced due to being diabetic. It's going to happen on Saturday, which is why it's coming back on Friday, but I don't think I'll last that long. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Info: why is he going for 5 days? Can he not fly in that morning and fly out that evening? Sure, he'll be tired, but that's less time away from you and less chance he'll miss the birth. Second question: has any of you spoken with a daughter and asked her what her thoughts are? Maybe she'd be quite fine with him missing it or watching live. Third question: why is he going for 5 whole days? I haven't spoken with his daughter about this, and he is so insistent on going that I think if I went behind his back to talk to her about him missing it, that he'd be angry at me and go anyway. He wants to go this long to be able to spend a few days with her before the baby comes, in case he can't see her for a few months after. Though he could have timed it far better to spend some time with her as I'm unlikely to last a week. Why not talk about it together as a family? Although I am a bit concerned about you saying he's brushing you off. That's pretty nasty of him, Opie. What is going on here? I think he is so focused on ensuring she doesn't feel neglected that he is refusing to see any other issue. And he thinks that as an adult I should be able to understand that she must always come first. Which I do. I had him go to her birthday when I was in hospital needing my appendix removed. This is different though. This is him likely going to miss our child's birth when I've already been having a difficult pregnancy. So wait, this isn't even the first time he's abandoned you during a medical emergency? I'm sorry, but wife's surgery comes before child's party. This man is a terrible husband. You deserve better, OP. I hope this will not be the case, and everything will go smoothly for you. But in the case that something goes wrong and he is not there to make a tough call regarding a medical emergency, what will happen? Your friend will not be allowed to make the call. You are not unreasonable, and frankly, whatever you do, your husband needs to set priorities here. I'm sorry to say, but you're not in his priority list, and that is very sad. Honestly, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to my OB about this. I have no family, so it's not like I have anyone there. We had a few cases in the family where the husbands needed to make choices, and one time, one of them wasn't there. They had to find my grandfather, an illiterate person who didn't understand the options, and still faces the consequences 25 years later. I hope everything will be perfect for you and your baby and you will be both healthy and happy. Is your husband really willing to miss the birth? Now for the first update. Hey everyone! I want to thank everyone who commented on my initial post. Your comments were very helpful. My doctor ended up deciding I needed an emergency C-section on Wednesday. My best friend is an absolute saint and went with me to the hospital. She wasn't allowed in the room, so I spent that entire time trying to get in touch with my husband. We only managed to get in contact with him after our daughter was born. Once he knew she and I were healthy and fine, he didn't want to fly back. He said we were fine now and the competition still hadn't happened, so there was no point in upsetting his daughter, and that he'd be flying back on Friday anyway. I was rather worn out and numb at this point, so didn't argue, though my friend called him every swear word she could think of. What hurt the most, though, is I didn't ask for a single picture of our daughter or to Zoom to see her. On Friday morning, he told me he'd been missing his flight back as he felt under the weather, and he didn't want to risk it being COVID and bringing it back. I admit this kind of broke me a little, and when I asked him if he didn't want to come home, he told me I was being ridiculous. At this point, I had enough, and told him to come back whenever he felt like it, but I'd be staying with my friend with a baby when I get out of the hospital, as I needed to think about some things. She had been trying to get me to come stay with her anyway, so I knew it'd be fine with her. He simply told me that was fine, and to come back when I'd stop my hissy fit. I'm done. Not once has he asked to see our daughter or even showed concern for either of us following the emergency C-section. I grew up in care. A mother alone is better than no one, and I know that firsthand I'm not going to try and make things work just for her sake. My best friend and her parents are currently at my home getting all my things and the baby things to move them to my friend's home. I've also decided on the baby's name. I wanted to name her Violet initially after my best friend V, but my husband shot that name down immediately when we knew I was having a girl, as he felt it was an old lady's name. But honestly, I couldn't have done any of this without her. So yeah, that is where I am right now. In a whole lot of pain emotionally and physically, but I have my little girl in my arms. I'll likely be talking to some lawyers soon to ask what to do going forward. Thank you again, everyone. You've all helped a great deal. We only managed to get in contact with him after our daughter was born. Once he knew she and I were healthy and fine, he didn't want to fly back. He said we were fine now and the competition still hadn't happened, so there was no point in upsetting his daughter, and that he'd be flying back on Friday anyway. Hate to say this, but he was actively avoiding you. It wasn't as if he was at the game already and couldn't hear the phone. No, the game had not even started, and he knew that you would want to contact him while he was away. So he decided that neither you nor your daughter was worth his time when the both of you needed him most. I hope you pull through this even stronger than you are. He definitely does not deserve you nor your daughter. I agree. He expressed little desire to contact you, support you, or your baby girl. You and your daughter do not need that kind of poison in your life. I'm sorry to tell you, but there is a big chance he is cheating. Probably. I don't care at this point though. I hope that if he is, he feels it's worth it. OP, can I ask you? How did you know he was actually going to his daughter's fencing competition? He simply told me. I had no reason to believe he was lying. Honestly, divorce him. There is literally nothing that can be done. He could have gone to 1,000 future competitions for his daughter. He can never go back to your daughter's birth. The only way to move forward is to forgive him for doing the most stupidly selfish thing ever. He's been rude, vile, inconsiderate, and generally horrible. It sounds like you have a good support system. You should stay with them until he respectfully apologizes with full emotional competence for what he did wrong, at the very least. I'm still not believing he's at a fencing competition. I bet he's cheating. The prick. Another poster who fences checked and there were no competitions anywhere on that day. Now for the second update. Hi everyone. Thank you all for your support/messages and asking for updates. Sorry I didn't post sooner. I debated on posting an update, but figured I should as I know many of you were worried/curious. This will likely be my last update, but thank you all. So, Violet and I are doing good all things considered. My friend has been a godsend, and we're still staying with her. She has even been talking about the two of us looking for a bigger place together, as this isn't an ideal place for a baby as Violet gets older, as the two of us are in the tiny guest room at my friend's place. Now, you're likely wondering about my husband. I've been in contact with a lawyer and have filed for divorce. I reached out to his ex, offering to send pictures of Violet for her daughter as my soon-to-be ex-husband hadn't been interested in seeing any. They've gotten back together, it seems. I know many of you suspected it and you were right. He still hasn't seen Violet and shows no interest in doing so. My lawyer has all the messages and every shred of proof that could be useful in a divorce and a matter of Violet's custody. Though I doubt there will be any issue in me having full custody given he hasn't even wanted to see a picture of her yet. Now, about Violet's surname and birth certificate status. She has my surname and he isn't on the birth certificate. He isn't acting like a father and has no interest in her, it seems. So yeah. Thanks everyone. If you have any questions, let me know. I remember your post when you first posted it, and I remember thinking something's funky going on with the ex, and I'm sad to hear he was acting sleazy. I'm glad you didn't hesitate to take care of yourself and your daughter. Beautiful name, by the way. My only worry is within the next year or two, he may try crawling back. And I can only hope you'll see through his BS ways and remain strong for yourself and your daughter. Hope everything goes smooth sailing. Yeah, this is what I was thinking too. Once he realizes how expensive divorce and child supports will be, and that there was a reason him and the ex broke up, he will be crawling back and playing the victim. He doesn't deserve to be a husband and father. I don't get why his ex gets back together with him. I wouldn't want to be with a man like that. He's worth nothing. I'm glad you are doing okay. He abandoned her and her child once, then abandoned his wife during the delivery of his second child. What on earth would possess her to want someone who's displayed such willingness to abandon his family? Sadly, sometimes people are that dumb that they prefer temporary happiness over fixing their issues for a long-lasting one. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend I want our joint savings account to be named after me only even though we both contribute equally because I'm afraid he'll lose the money again? Original post. I'm sorry if some of my terminology is wrong. I'm trying to be part of my boyfriend's financial decisions, but I'm still learning. Yes, the title is bad, but it's the truth. My boyfriend is a Bitcoin day trader. He can make in a day what I make in 2 weeks, but he can lose the same amount in an hour. We used to have a joint savings account, but one day he gambled everything on some sure investment and lost the entire account, plus a lot of his own money. He said one of the coin makers lied to him and stole the money from everyone. That money was supposed to go to the first payment on a house and moving expenses, but it was all gone because of a scam. It took me a lot of time to accept what happened. I'm still not sure what I would have done if he hadn't given me my money back. We're still planning to buy a house together, but now I demand to be the only one that can control that money. He told me I'm a control freak, that I don't believe in him or his businesses, and that I'm angry that he makes more than me. Except I don't. I literally have a stable income and benefits from my job. He told me that he will become a millionaire and buy himself every house he wants, because now he makes the coins himself, and he is afraid I'm going to leave him and take his money. I told him that if we break up, I'll open the savings account and split it down the middle, so we both get what we paid for. I love him, but I don't trust him with my money. I feel like I'm dating a gambler. Is it wrong of me to be this controlling? He makes me feel stupid for not understanding his work, but maybe I'm just financially illiterate. I don't know. Thoughts? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not the a-hole. You are dating a gambler. Put your money in your own account. You have to keep your finances separate if he's willing to risk your money as well as his own. If it works out for him, then great. But if it doesn't, then you'll both be screwed. I stopped reading at Bitcoin day trader. Definitely not the a-hole. He's a Bitcoin day trader. Gambling addict. Got it. Not the a-hole. My husband also dabbles in the markets and crypto. He does pretty well out of it. However, he has an account purely for this activity. If he lost it all tomorrow, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't care, and it would have zero impact on our real money. It's his hobby. I think you're doing the rational thing here. You can't risk him losing everything, and it's not fair of him to expect you to be fine with him gambling with the family finances. I think that's the best way to deal with crypto. That's what I want to do. Since you're basically dating a gambler, I'm just gonna pull a line from Kenny Rogers. Know when to hold them, know when to fold them. My boyfriend is a gambler. A reasonable return for a trader is 4 to 5% profit per year. That means he needs to be playing with a capital of at least $1 million to make $40,000 to $50,000 per year. I'm assuming that he doesn't have that, and he is trying to get rich quick by investing a much smaller bankroll in an attempt to double or triple it in a month. This is not sustainable, and he will be wiped out again and again. Separate your finances from him. He is a gambler, not the a-hole. Now for the update. I dumped him. He tried to explain to me that he stopped gambling on crypto, that he started a company with some people to scam other crypto investors. Apparently, he can create meme coins and scam people for their money. I recorded everything while he showed me some graphs. I'm not sure what the police can do with it, but I'm going to find out. You were right, guys. He is a piece of work. Update 2. I talked to his mom and told her everything. She said it gave her a lot of money recently, after she and her husband saved him from bankruptcy just 4 months ago. I didn't know about the bankruptcy. I had no idea. but I tried to explain to her that he is a scammer. Now she is cutting any financial aid/ties to him, and her husband, my ex's stepdad, kicked him off the family vacation that was supposed to happen in October. They're a well-off family, and having a scammer son could destroy their reputation. Easy to say, he's in a lot of trouble now. Answering some questions. Question: why did you have joint finances? Answer: I don't have a supportive family and I couldn't get a rental contract and then a loan by myself. We both had stable jobs and had a similar expectation of life. Question: did you report him? Answer: yes. I reported him to the FBI. Didn't get a response. I reported him to Twitter. Didn't get a response and his account is still live. I reported him to Coin Exchange. Got a thank you email and an assurance of an investigation. Question: will you talk to the YouTuber's ex? Answer: no, I feel like I've done enough. I want to heal and move on.